Oh yeah. Not bad. Hey, so now that I managed to throw the 400-foot backhand that I was going for, my next goal is going to be to try and get a 350-foot forehand, which, going from where I'm at now, where I have pretty much no forehand to speak of, I'll throw sort of short approach shots. I can throw a max distance of maybe 250, 260 feet, and those are not very smooth or controlled. So this is going to be a pretty tough journey. I'm not going to do sort of like weekly videos on this. I'm going to sort of do more spread out ones, maybe sort of once a month or something like that. But today we're just going to get some baselines, see where we're at. I'm also going to play it against my lefty backhand, which I've never really done for any practical purposes, but I've been liking the way they've been looking in the overspeed training videos I've been doing. So we'll give that a go, and then at the end of it we'll see if I can hit 350 forehand or maybe even lefty backhand as well. But yeah, let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to throw 10 forehands, just try to throw them pretty stock, flat, or what I feel is flat, sort of like just a medium power, and then we'll do 10 lefty backhands as well. I'm not going to look at the tech disc between them, but we're going to use it to get some baseline numbers. Okay, that was 10 forehands. So now we're going to do 10 lefty backhands. I've not really done any proper throws of this, just with the weighted discs on the overspeed training. But we'll give it a go and see what we get. Okay, I'm just going to throw probably just one round with these Zeus's, and see what kind of distance we're getting. Like I said, I think I'm sort of around 250, 260. That was actually pretty nice. Quite a lot of flutter on it, but maybe I'm better at forehands than I'm giving myself credit for. Right, this is the flippy one, so it'd be nice if we could get more of a full flight out of this. Oh yeah. Those are all really good, actually. Well, we'll measure them and see what we get. 272 there, which was a lot better than I was expecting. Let's give the lefty backhands a go. I honestly, I'm not expecting much from these, but we'll give it a go anyway. Not bad. Definitely shorter than the forehands, but good, nice flight out of it. Oh, a bit too much hyzer there, but got a bit more behind it. Not bad at all. Flippy one might work well. Oh, I threw it too low. You know what? That was not embarrassing. We'll go see how far they went. So back at home now, going to take a little look at the TechDisc numbers that we got there. I wasn't looking at them at the time, so now we can have a look at the averages and see what we're looking at to begin with. So on the forehands here, we can see an average speed of 51.9, basically 52 miles an hour, a max of 54.5. Now, I wasn't throwing hard here, I was just sort of throwing pretty normal. So, not too bad. If I'm going to get to that 350 foot range, I'm going to need this to be sort of closer to 60 miles an hour. But looks like it could be achievable. Spin, average of around 600 RPM. Not great at all, really. And then this big thing is the wobble on at 12 on average. So that's really high. A clean release is going to be something like 2 or 3. So that's going to need a lot of work. Hyzer angle, just a massive variation in that as well. Average of 8, but a max of 18 and a minimum of -8. So that's all over the place, really. So that's going to need some work. Same with the nose angle, going between 3 degrees up and 10 degrees down. Massive difference there. So obviously we're going to want to look at increasing the speed, but we're going to have to increase all these things: the spin, decrease the wobble, work on the hyzer, the nose angle. So lots of work to be done there before we start cranking the speed up. Then looking at the lefty backhands, so much slower speed here, looking at an average of 46, which is not fast at all. Again, I wasn't throwing these hard at all, I was just trying to throw them reasonably well. But spin around 1,000, not bad at all there, actually. Wobble about the same as on the forehands, so cleaner release is needed. Average of 10 degrees on the hyzer, but again, a lot of variation there, so just showing that there's not a lot of control. Nose angle's down, which is good. Apparently one of them was at -13, which seems kind of ridiculous, so going to need some control on that. And average launch of about 10, that's not bad either, quite a lot of variation, but showing that on both of these, which I'm not doing a lot, there's just very little control in how the disc is coming out. So those are going to be my main focuses. So now we'll take a look at the form and show why we're seeing these kind of inconsistencies in the numbers. So, form analysis on the forehand. So, what I think is definitely a problem here, and this will be even more obvious on the sort of face-on angle here, is just that the disc seems to just drop onto all kinds of weird angles here. So you can kind of see it in this frame, it's like flopping like as if it's pointing nose up, and then by the time it gets to just when I release it, now it's sort of hyzered and nose down. Not really sure what's causing this. I think it's because my forearm here doesn't really track on a level line. It sort of goes, it's on this angle, then it sort of parallels the ground where I want it to be, and then when my elbow straightens, now it's sort of on the opposite angle. So, and then I'm trying to somehow get the disc to come out flat amongst all of that. But I think, I like the way the run-up looks. I think I'm doing a good job rotating my lower body and my upper body, all of that kind of stuff. And then if we take a look from the face-on view here, yeah, so you can kind of see here when the disc starts to drop into this position, the angles are all over the place. So I think what I want is to see it flat like this, and then just to trace that flat line all the way through, rather than where it does this kind of dodgy swooping motion and then comes out with so much wobble like a dead fish. But I like the way I'm getting into it. I like the way I'm using my hips and my upper body. I like the fact that the elbow is like leading here. That's a good thing. But yeah, definitely a lot of things to work on here. Getting into the lefty backhands here. So from down the line, I think there's actually quite a lot of good things going on here, to be honest. That plant foot looks a bit open, which isn't great. Reach back's not bad. It's actually quite a bit wider than my righty one. And then, yeah, I think similar to the forehand here, the angles are just kind of weird. And therefore, it's coming out really, really floppy. But again, rotating my body nicely. Really doesn't look all that terrible to me. So, quite positive with this, especially since I've only just started working on it. I think there could be, some potential here. And then if we go into the face-on view on this, yeah, I like the walk up. I would say plant and everything is actually pretty good. Like my reach pack position's nice. That plant foot is extremely open, so definitely gonna have to work on that. And then I think, yeah, because of that, there's not a lot of bracing coming in from my front leg, but I do a decent job of getting into like a 90-degree pocket here. Also, that pocket's quite deep. Just need to really fix this wrist angle, which was something I was struggling with in my righty backhand at the beginning of the Road to 400 series as well. And I think that's a lot of why this comes out on, horrendous floppy angles. So yeah, but not that bad. I think there's decent foundation here, to be honest. Just some things to work on. Okay, so that's the end of my forehand baseline episode for this series. So if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when we start working on this stuff and see if we can get to 350 feet with a forehand.